Hello. Let's play. We've got a little bit of time. I'm headed out of town this afternoon, but I want to play, and I want to play with this cardboard tile. And I have some stamps and some tickets and different ephemera and a focal point. I lost it already. The focal point I want to use. It's under here. It's under here. So I don't have the videos up yet for this. Since I'm traveling, I'm going to put those up later in the week. But essentially what we've got here is this very pretty butterfly that has been made to look like ceramic. So I want that to be our focal point. So let's just dig right in and have a ton of fun. And I'm thinking that we want to go super grungy with this. And I think we should just start with a little bit of ink. Let's just dive right in. No, I've already changed my mind, guys. Let's start with some paper. Now, we're going to see how this fares for us. This is the music paper, the player piano paper that I think will be quite incredible. So let's still go ahead and start with a base of ink. I've got here vintage photo. Let's do it. So I'm going to start with archival, and I just want some background color that's more brown than gray that will show through. I got mica powder everywhere. That'll be on the next couple of videos to see how we did that. I think I want to go super grunge with this, and we'll see how many layers it takes us. I don't know. I don't really have a plan. I just was thinking, hey, I feel like getting messy. All right. Oh my gosh, am I really going to cut this? I totally am. We're going to not waste any. We're just going to cut right through here. Oh my goodness. I'm dying to use this. So we want to make sure that we have enough. So I'm going to go right about here. It's probably horrible that I'm doing this, but guys, we've got to use our goodies. It's not quiet. Don't do this when people are sleeping for sure. All right, let's set this off to the side. And I think the best bet is going to be to put the glue on here and then set it face down on this paper. So let's just start with that. We're going to get lots of glue on here. We want it all the way to the edge. And it will dry clear, so we don't have to worry about the fact that we just covered up all of our inking that we just did. A little more. All right. So, first time working with this paper, obviously, so we'll see how we do here. I'm going to attempt to get it somewhat straight right now. Let's see if we can gently flatten this out. I think that's working just fine. And what I might do to give it a cool edge is go ahead and use an emery board. which is a nice trick when you're working with a harder base like this. Now, do I even have one here? Nope, I gotta grab one from over here, I think. Yep, got it. So clearly I'm not planning ahead. I'm just kind of going with it. We're just gonna have fun and play today. All right, so here's the little trick. Just at an angle. And that will give you a really nice edge. And obviously you can't do this with a soft paper background, but when you're working on something like, say, a puzzle piece or some thicker cardboard, this works so nice to get a crisp edge as a base. Like I said, this paper is very loud. And this will keep you from tearing into the area that you're trying to cover. And this will definitely not go to waste. We will use that. Okay. All right. I feel like we are off to a good start. Let's go ahead and take the vintage photo and go a little more around these edges. And I'm going to pull it in. I'm going pretty flat so that we can pull that color in pretty far. We'll go with a darker shade around the outside as well. It would be nice to have a little bit darker shining through. I think next time I do one of these, I will put a little bit more ink underneath. Right now it's relatively subtle. The paper's too thin, I think, to do much rubbing over the top. But that could be another thing to try. Here. Nah, nothing. Okay. Get these messy mica powders out, things out of the way. Let's see what other stuff we can do here with some of our blending tools. And see if we can get some, multiple layers of grungy looks. Let's put some splatters on. I'm gonna see what the antique linen will do. Sometimes we can, on this lighter paper, we can still get a nice effect. Yeah, you can totally still see it. But it is subtle, which is okay because we're gonna be doing multiple layers. So I like that it's subtle. Let's just go big with this one. We get a larger area. Because we are going to collage on top, and I don't want to do it in such a small area that we're not going to see the work that we've done. So let's keep on going here. Get some all around. And here. And if you move it a little, it doesn't matter because we're making stains. We're making grunge. Keep that handy. Also have our grungy stamps close by. I want to build it up. Let's see. Where are other browns? Here's a walnut. Here's tea dye. We got ground espresso. And these are not brown, I don't believe. Nope, reds. Okay, and of course we've got our scorched timber, so we've got lots of different colors to use. There's also vintage photo in this, which is going to be a little bit different, I believe, than the other. But we can find out. Let's go. Where do we want to go first? Is that tea dye? That might be tea dye. I really need to get better organized with my colors here. I know, I don't think it is. Well, it is today. Actually, let's grab these stamps. Let's grab our grungy stamps and see what we can do here with our tea dye. Stamping block. So I mentioned I'm traveling today, and I get kind of nervous sometimes when I travel, so might be hoping this will calm me down a little bit. Oh, this has mica powder on it. Get that out of here. I am just having a day. Okay, here we go. Here we go. So I'm hoping that what we'll end up with is something with a whole lot of depth, lots of color variation, and something that we can be really proud of. So let's get these started. Start off cleanish and see where we end up, shall we? Is that gonna stick? Yeah, let's do tea dye with this one. Nice. We don't need a ton of each color. But we want enough of it around that we should be able to see it regardless of where we end up putting our focal point. All right, shall we? Let's go vintage photo archival for this one. And we'll see what this looks like, how much color we can get from this. That was interesting. It looks like it didn't even show up, which is odd. I wonder what's happening. Oh, I don't know what I pushed on, but yeah, it's there for sure. There. And we can double stamp, get, you know, different tones. Some middle there. And shall we go little speckles with the ground espresso? Nice. And then I think, I do wish we could see that better. And I have a thought for maybe how we can make that stand out a bit more, but let's finish up with our background first. Now the other part that I would like to do, I want to get some of that nice distress, the ink behavior. I want to put some of the darker on here and then see if we can't hit it with some water. Let's go vintage photo first. We'll go light to dark. It didn't matter with the archival because that's not going to react. So we're okay from that perspective. Let's see. It's a little hard to tell if I'm getting anything on there. I think I am, yeah. I can see it now. I can see it now. We don't have to go all over everywhere with it. Just go into some random places. It's okay to have different lights and darks. And we'll do the full outside with scorched timber, but I'm not necessarily sure I want to put that on just yet. I'm thinking, oh, that does help pop some of those holes. It does help see it better. Oh, I like that. We're just going to town here. I'm pleased. I was gonna say we could use the water reactive graphite, but this is working pretty good. That cardboard underneath is really taking hold of that ink. I like it. So here's what we started with. Quite a difference, right? Just some paper and some inks and some glue. That's one of the funnest things I think about doing this, is all the variety that you can create. Now, let's hope we don't kill the whole thing here. I want a paper towel to soak it up, so I will be right back. All right, let's give it a go. Use my, I don't even know what that word is. The sprayer. This is the distressed one, and I used to just use a regular spray bottle. When they say there's such a difference between the mist and the drops, there's no lie there, guys. So I'm gonna put some big drops. Gonna let that sit for a minute and let that ink react. And you'll see it start to pull some of that ink out of the background. And then we're just gonna soak it right up. It is kind of subtle, but you can, oh, it's showing up better now. Yeah, I like it. Super cool. Super cool. Not sure if we want to pull that in pretty far as well. Let's give it a try and see what we think as we're doing it. I would like to see how the scorched timber works with the spray. I have not tried that before. I made a huge mess with embossing powder, and I got it absolutely everywhere. I swear to God, some of this stuff was even closed. I have no idea how it got in there, but it certainly did. A little more dark here. I don't want to overdo it, I don't think, on the other splatters. So maybe we can take a little piece of paper and almost mask it off. Let's see, what do I have here? Anything? Let's see. just go like this. We'll see what maybe this does. I want one up there in the corner too. I don't know, I'm trying to be oh. Hey, it's a masterboard tag. Let's not lose that. We'll use it. I shouldn't try to be too particular with this because it's spray. You can see a little bit there. Just every little tiny bit you do adds to the dimension. And to me, it's totally worth it. So, we've got our focal point here that we're going to use. I don't want to cover up everything in the background because it's cool and I like it. But let's go ahead and do some stamping and let's see. Should we try the bingo card? Because that's fun. I've been so excited about that. Let's do the bingo card. And see if we can make it a little bit subtle. And I think what color do we want to use? Definitely not the antique linen. That's too light. Let's see what the tea dye does. It's going to have a bit of an orange. Let's see, maybe I can just go this way. Yeah, I can see just fine what I'm doing it this way. It's little, so we gotta give him lots of, whoops, come on off. Let's put that over here. Ooh, I like it. I do like it. Let's just wipe that off of here. It's wet still. Oh, I do like it. Now I hope it dries okay. It looks like it is sinking in. So I think we'll be okay. There was a little bit of a coating on that paper, so we might have to watch it a little bit to make sure it dries. I'm gonna actually hit it here just quickly from a distance. Yeah, it does look like it's drying just fine. See what else we got over here that might be fun. We could put some coffee dyed paper on there. Let's put our bingo back. Maybe we want to use some of these other images. It'll be slightly darker. I do want to have a little bit of this. What color do we want? I don't want it super dark, but I do want it to stand out. Let's go ahead and go vintage photo. Now we are spending a lot of time on this background, but I think it's going to be worth it. I'm just going to slop that around a little bit, and we're just going to put it down in a couple of areas. I think I want a little bit more. Let's do it at the top here so I can know better exactly where that's at. Just go there and just a touch more down here. There we go. Again, just more layers, more interest. And I think one of the things, I think we often hurry through backgrounds, but it is, you know, worth noting that if you put time into the background, it can be a really beautiful element of your piece of art. And sometimes if you get the background, if you love the background, you don't have to cover it all up. It can be in the background and still be a really lovely area of focus. Let's see, what do we want? What's on the back of that? Oh, guys, we had a mishap. That is a disaster on the back. Well, let's see if we can make it work anyway. Let's see. How are we going to do this? We can't put it on a block. Can I grab it here? Can't put it on a block because there's just a whole load of junk on the back. Hey, works just fine. All right, see, improvise. We can improvise. Now, how about we could put the Eiffel Tower. That might be cool. I don't use that very often. And maybe in a different color, maybe we go a little darker with this. How about some walnut stain? I bet I can get it inked up without taking it off the back. Whoa, I say that and then I'm wibble-wobbling all over the place. All right, how about up here? Lovely. I really like the idea of putting so much interest in the background that it just gives so much to look at. All right. This is a little different than we usually do, but I'm okay with that because I'm having a lovely time. I don't know how much else we want to put as far as like covering anything up, because I think that the background is so beautiful that we don't need a bunch of extra stuff covering all of that up. But let's see what we have that we might want to put on there. We could do something like that. Is this the same? Could do it offset. So we've got these. I know I had bigger ones sitting over. Where did you go? Well, I know I had them because I just looked at them. Well, I guess they don't want to play with us right now. These might be the same. Ooh, what about a round one? I kind of like the round one. It gives another, we don't have much round. We don't have any soft corners. It adds a bit of soft to it. I think I like that. And maybe just a small ticket, label, something like that. Specimen would work. Let's just keep a couple of these. There's a thing that I spilled coffee on that. Okay. But not a ton. We don't want a full bunch. All right, let's get these out of our way. But I'm thinking we do want something, we want to add a little interest to the picture frame. So what if let me get some of this other stuff moved out that I don't think we're going to be using. All right, now we could, that's too dark, I think. Let me pull out this file folder. This was one of the, you know, Hobby Lobby has the discount packs of paper in the back where it's, you know, blind. You can't really see what's in it. And it's just offcuts, or not offcuts, single sheets typically. Maybe it's been opened, or it's leftovers from their individual paper sheets, the Paper Studio sheets. And so I want to say, what did I spend? I spent $3, $5, something like that. And it was this whole bundle of paper. And you can see here, every piece of this vellum in here was $1. Every piece of this shiny, $1. So, I mean, wow, what a fabulous deal. So I'm thinking this could look pretty. Sticking with that kind of golden theme. That would look nice. What else? What are our other options? There's some scroll work. Not a fan so much of that. Not for this project. The dots could be cool. Why do I feel like this shows through a little better? I think we just need to make the decision that this, I really like this, and this is what I want to use. All right, let's see. Now, of the stuff that we've already cut off, yeah, we can just continue right on down here. We'll have to decide if we want the dull gold or the bright gold. So let's go ahead and just snip off a piece here for us. I might be going a little large, but that's, I think, okay. And we've got a lot, right? We've got plenty to use in this giant pile. 50 pages, I believe, comes in those. Oops. Comes in these little bargain packs at the back of the store. I'm assuming they're always in the back of the store. I don't know. I've only been to a couple Hobby Lobbies, so I'm not sure if they set them up the same. Cheers, coffee. Okay. So, I'll set these aside because we're not 100% sure what all of those we're going to use. I do want to go ahead and ink our edges here. Now these backgrounds like this too are certainly something that you could mass make. Do them on a bunch of tags. You could do different colors. You could go blues or, you know, reds. Anything that you've got multiple shades of would be great for this kind of grungy, distressed background. And you could, I mean, you could definitely use multiple colors as well. You don't have to have only shades of the same color. Just need to make sure that you've got light, dark, and medium tones. Okay. Now, when looking at this, feel like I like the dull better. So we are going to, let's close this up. Let's glue it first, and then I feel like this glue's been being quite odd, and I haven't had it for a super long time. I know that people have said that if you over time that the art glitter glue, it can behave weird, especially if it freezes like in transit, so you got to be careful of that. But I don't feel like I've had it that long. Maybe I just needed to shake it up, or maybe when I refilled it, this little bottle, maybe I did something weird. Oh, it seems to be fine today. So let's set this guy on here. I'm going to push from the middle outward in an attempt to get any oozing on the outside instead of the inside. Although I didn't go super heavy-handed with the glue, so I don't expect there to be much oozing. Well, except for right there where I tried to glue it to the table, but that's okay. Just wipe that off. It's not wet anymore. Okay. Let's see if I can trim this up before it gets super close or super dry. What I'm hoping to do is get between. I could have cut it first. It probably would have been a little easier. Or I could also use normal size scissors instead of these giant ones. I've got little scissors, but these are my favorite. So this is what I like to use. Even if it makes things difficult, obviously. I made that hard for no reason at all by trying to do it from the back. What on earth is my deal? There we go. Okay, so we are in a good spot with that, and that's going to go here. Now, how much extra do we really want on this? I don't want to do too much. I don't want it to be more than we need, right? Maybe this would look better this other way because kind of like that. Now, do we want this under here as well? Or maybe over here? I almost feel like we don't even need this. I think I'm trying to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Because I do want to put something up in this other corner. What if we had this behind, kind of peeking out? No, I don't. I think it gets in the way of the contrast. I think we're going to do that. And I'm going to put a little bit more ink on the butterfly. Sometimes it's hard to stop because there's just so many things that, you know, would look nice, and so you just want to keep on going. Sometimes I have a hard time editing myself, or I overcorrect and it feels like it's not enough. Oops, I almost put that in the way that we didn't want it to go in. Just going to stick that right there. Now let's get this guy on. Is that where we want it? Yep, looks good to me. There, let's get that. And a little bit more ink. Just giving us a little more contrast here on the edge. Thought perhaps maybe we'd mount it a little higher, but I think I would feel better if we just put her straight down, lots of glue. It does have a pretty sturdy quality to it, so let's make sure that we're not going to have any pulling due to the slight curl here. So we're just going to hold that down good. Make sure everything grips well. And we're just going to hold that for a second. Looks like we're in good shape, I think. Well stuck. Oh yeah, I think we are all good from there. Now, there is a small hole, obviously over here, which we definitely are going to, how about we add one of these? Oh yeah, yeah. Now do we want that, or do we want the bluer one? Let's go with the blue. We'll put that over here in our, I'm gonna add an eyelet. This is making me, I think we might need to weight this down. It does take a while sometimes for the art glitter glue to stick well to vellum. So that compared, or in combination with the strength of this butterfly, might mean we need to put more glue and put a clip on it. But for now, I think it should stay. So, eyelet. Let's grab an eyelet. Or the other thing that we've got, where's the other little bag? Where is the other little bag? Oh my god. Guys, I lose absolutely everything. So ridiculous. We're going to use that. I got these brads at a small Amish store. Won't even tell you the story about the car trouble and everything else because it's sadness. But ultimately, we made it. We made it back. There are some with gears though. That's what I was looking for, and I don't know where they're around here somewhere. We're gonna go with the star. So maybe instead of an eyelet, we'll just use this brad. Let's open them up. I have not opened them up yet. And they had this brand I've never seen before. Eyelet, Outlet, and Brads. Or maybe Eyelet and Brads Outlet. eyeletOutlet.com. And these stars are gorgeous. I love them so much. So maybe we can use one of these. I know we have quite a bit of gold going on, but I do kind of like the silver. What are our other options? That would look pretty too, though. Definitely think we need a big one. Now we could go with this that's a little darker. Let's put these back in here before I lose them. And the minute we stop the video, I'm going to find the gears. I guarantee it. Okay. All right. So, oops. Well, let's go ahead and let's use that one. And I closed these up and I didn't put the other two away. Not cool. All right. So let's poke that through and we can decide. We might still want an eyelet. Let's look. I feel like that doesn't stand out enough. What if we do this and have this guy behind so it shows up a little better, and we'll just use our pokey tool somewhere, wherever he went, right here, and I'm just going to do it right on here. Eyeball the middle, and we'll just put a little hole in there. We'll stick that right like this. Let's do that. That will provide us some contrast so that star shows up very nicely. And it gives us a little bit of that balance of hanging over on both sides. So feel like I want this to hang down a little bit. So let's put a second knot here. Maybe we won't need the second knot. Do we still want some of this though? Hanging. I don't know if we do or not. Is that going to take away? Let's just not, because we're trying to I was going to say edit ourselves. We're trying to control ourselves just enough to not overdo it. So why am I still trying to put stuff on here? If we're editing. No, stop it. Put the star through. Stop it. Okay. I didn't say editing ourselves would be easy. I just said we're doing it. Hangs down just enough to have a little movement. Let's put that through there. Let's get good and tight. Oh, how fun. We didn't have to be completely, we didn't have to overdo it, and still we've got this lovely finished piece that we could, that could be a nice journal cover, right? A focal point on a journal cover. Any number of things. You could set it on a little, they have those little bitty mini art easels. How cute would that be, just sitting on a little art easel on a small shelf? I think that we have been successful with our little play today. Let me close up my glue before I'm very sorry that I didn't. All right. I hope that you guys enjoyed hanging out today. Thanks for being with me. And like I said, I'm going to be out of town, but I have a couple of videos that I'm going to be publishing throughout the week so that we can keep on visiting. So thanks again, guys, and I will see all of you next time. Bye.